Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Life of Brian. Another installment today of actually a different installment today. We're doing 5 things I violently oppose about my car, and we're talking about my 2021 Lotus Evora GT today. So let's go through a quick list of 5 things that I dislike or wish were different on this car. So the first thing that I violently oppose about my 2021 Lotus Evora, guys, is the trunk or the lack thereof. I had a Lotus, what was that thing called? A Lotus Elise for a little bit, and that trunk was pretty much actually the same size as this. The Elise was smaller than this car, significantly smaller, but I feel the trunk space or lack thereof was about the same. And I get it. It's a sports car, kind of on that cusp, on that, just about to maybe be classified or considered a supercar. And you're never going to get a lot of storage space, but still, it makes the car a little bit less practical, a little bit less usable, because basically, unless you have a small duffel bag or 1 bag or 2 bags of groceries, you're not going to be able to do much with this car, because again, there's just really no trunk space. And then obviously the engine's right there, so you don't want to be packing any ice cream or anything that you want to keep cold or not hot back here. So that's the first thing that I violently oppose about my Lotus. The second thing I violently oppose about my Lotus, guys, is getting in and out of the car. Specifically, you kind of have this little, seal here, and it's actually, compared to my Elise, this is like 100% better, easier to get in and out. With my Elise, I literally was kind of falling out of the car or, tumbling into the car. So this is, not as, it's a little lower, it's a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit more manageable, but it still is quite difficult to get in the car. So let me just try to do that right now for you guys. So, you kind of have to go in at an angle, and then, it's not horrible. And ironically enough, when you're actually in the car, you can slide the chair a significant ways back, where actually I'm about almost, I'm about 5'10". I can reach it, but I definitely cannot safely drive the car with the seat all the way back. Which is to say, once you're in, it fits, really big, really tall people. I think I even saw a video where some guy who's like 7 foot, over 7 foot, comfortably fits in the car, which is very unusual for a car this size, or really obviously any sports car or supercar, specifically a supercar, for someone that big or tall to fit. So once you're in, you're good. It's just kind of getting in is a little bit of a chore, and then getting out is, not too bad. I'm constantly kicking the heck out of this thing, which is, as you can probably tell, it's kind of dirty, but you're gonna have to position yourself and then get up. Not horrible, but not the best aspect of this car. The third thing, guys, that I violently oppose about my Lotus Evora is the comically small back seats. These don't really fit human beings, and at one point I was like, hey, kids, small kids, it'll do good. But then I noticed when I was taking my boys in here the other day, they're 8 now, and obviously a little bit taller, a little bit bigger than they were a year ago. And they can barely fit back here. And again, we're talking 8 and 7-year-olds. Adults, no way. You're not going to fit unless you don't have legs. And again, I get it. You're a sports car, somewhat on the cusp of a supercar, but definitely a sports car. And most sports cars' back seats are completely unusable. But it's just, that's kind of a downer that you can't fit real human beings back there. And, obviously see, this seat's basically all back all the way where someone comfortably would sit. And yeah, you're not going to fit anyone comfortably back there. But just something to keep in mind. They have them. Throw a duffel bag back there, but not human beings. The fourth thing, guys, that I violently oppose about this car is the fact that you still have to put the key in to the ignition, and then also press the engine start button. It was the same way on the Elise I had. It's similar if you guys have a Honda S2K, same sort of deal. And I never understood it should be one or the other, right? So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you take your key, how just as you would, put it in, turn it all the way over, but the car doesn't start up, right? It's because you have to also press the engine start button right here to actually make the car, turn on. So that's something that is a little bit kind of stupid. I always thought, like, it's just one or the other, right? Just do a push start, you know, push button to start the engine, or do the key, right? One or the other. And especially, you know, this is a 2021 model, guys, so I'm not really sure why they kept that. I mean, certain things, it's like, I understand that, you know, you want to basically keep things kind of whatever, like historically accurate, or, you know, you want to basically honor like your tradition or your legacy. But you know, like Porsche has all their stuff on the left hand side of their cars, you know, because when the racer would come in, or the race car driver would come in, they would just put it on the left hand side. It would save them, like, you know, half a second. So I get that, but I'm not really sure why they have the push button and the key. Doesn't make sense to me. But that's the fourth thing that I violently oppose about this car. The fifth thing, guys, that I violently oppose about my Lotus Evora GT is the steering wheel, and a couple of problems I have with the steering wheel. Number one, this flat bottom thing. I'm not a fan of the flat bottom steering wheels. You know, a wheel should be round. If it's not round, then it shouldn't be a wheel, right? It should be called something else. But yeah, I don't like the flat bottom. That's number one. Number two, I don't like the fact that this part here and this part here is, I think it's Alcantara. It feels nice, but obviously, you know, over months and years, you know, the oils from your hand, you might just have a dirty hand that day, whatever. You start touching this a lot and it starts getting dirty, and the stains kind of start sitting in, and it starts feeling not as nice. Obviously this is leather, which is nice, but you know, this is obviously Alcantara right here, Alcantara down here. And I'm not really sure why they did it like that. And I find myself quite often, you know, purposefully and intentionally not ever touching these two areas of the wheel. I'll consciously say, okay, no, grab this end, grab this end. Even when I'm turning, I'll try to not touch these areas, because again, over time, and you know, these are not in bad shape, but over time, again, the oils from your hands, these get dirty. And I mean, I'm sure there's some way to clean them, but it's probably not easy. Again, I'm not really sure why they did that. I mean, thank God they didn't make the entire thing Alcantara. But, you know, just kind of weird that they would make those two portions that, and the fact that, again, it's a flat bottom. I do not like flat bottom steering wheels. So that's the fifth thing I wish was different on this car. So again, guys, those are the 5 things I violently oppose about my 2021 Lotus Evora GT. I mean, it's a beautiful car. Obviously, many things that I do like about it, but you know, those are the 5 things that I violently oppose and I wish were different on the car. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Do you have one? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is there something else that you think I should have put on my list? Again, hope you guys like the video. Give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, support the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.